Alright, there we go. Some fucking Syranax from their demo, the Battalion of Death. That's from 1985, man. Face the Blade, I believe the second track on the demo. We'll find out. They'll correct me if I'm wrong. So, yeah, Sarinax was a band that came out of Austin, Texas. And I was telling them backstage, I was a kid in Hogwild back in the day. I was shopping. It was 1985. And I saw going through their little, they used to carry the demos. And I saw the Sarinax. I was like, the Battalion of Death, that sounds fucking sick. I bought it on a blind buy. I was like, well, it's got to be cool. I was fucking blown away, actually, when I got home and listened to it. I was like, this is out of Austin? I thought San Antonio had the heaviest bands. And I was like, whoa, shit, these guys are fucking killer. Because, to me, back then, they were more on par like what Slayer was doing than more than the power metal bands and all that were doing. So maybe I'm wrong, but let's bring on we got two members in here so far. We got Sean and we got Jamie. What's up, dudes?
How's it going? Howdy.
Good, man, good. So am I right on my estimation of like you guys might have been rocking more on the heavier end of the heavy metal scene than the more like power metal stuff that was more going on in Texas at the time?
Yeah, I would think, especially, we were into hardcore, we were into, thrash, Slayer, Exciter, all that stuff. And when we got together, we just started playing something that was different. We had seen the local bands, Watchtower, Militia, and wanted, we went in a little different direction. We thought that was something missing, so we jumped on it.
All right, and let's tell the audience what particular role you played in the band, you guys. Sean, what was your instrument in the band?
I played bass.
Bass, and Jamie?
Guitar and lead.
Guitar and lead. So you're doing those ripping brutal leads right there, huh? Nice. Yeah. No, it's fucking great, man. Yeah. Ultra Boodles guys look like nice guys, but we're now. Let me show something here. Let me get into the old image files. Now this is right now, but back then, you guys were coming out looking like this. That's pretty heavy. That's fucking. That's some, as they say nowadays, some fucking metal right there. Look at that.
Those spikes, man.
Yeah, spikes, bullet belts. So yeah, that's like coming out
that
heavy.
Guitar right back there.
What was that?
The guitar here is right in the back.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Still
yeah.
on the wall.
Oh, shit. Look at
Oh
that.
shit! Snap! Still plays it.
So, let's go back to the beginning. How did you guys meet? How was, Syranax? Were you guys already friends prior, or was it, how did it happen, man? Back in 80, what year did you guys actually start to get together?
I think it was either late '84, early '85. The demo was made pretty shortly after we formed. I was kind of in a band with Rick, but we didn't. We were looking for other people. We were trying to start something, and it seems funny. Jamie lived just one street past where Rick and I lived, but he went to a different high school.
Oh, was it just like one of those crazy borders, like right where the street stopped, and boom, this is a new district over here, or was it one of those situations?
Jamie, I don't even know how you ended up where you were, but
Yeah, I think it was one of those. I don't know. I was walking down the street, had a guitar strapped around me. I was heading somewhere, and you guys were coming out of Rick's house, and we ended up. Hey,
you had that bloody Les Paul over your shoulder, and it was like, hey, that's a guy we need to talk to if we're trying to
flag that guy down.
That's fucking awesome. That's how you met. You just saw him walking with a guitar, and like,
yeah,
we were all neighborhood running the same streets. Yeah. Just, oh yeah.
Look at that. Let me find some more pics in here. So you hit them up, right? And did you start out like just doing some covers, or were you like already trying to do originals? What was the deal with that?
No, we did originals from the beginning.
From the get-go, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't even screw around. We're not going to do any of this cover crap. We're just doing originals.
Yeah, and we were having problems with drummers. They were lasting a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and just going, this is too fast, too tight. I can't do this.
I do remember hearing that from drummers back in those days.
And then a friend of ours, his cousin was a drummer. He said, hey, I'm going to send my cousin over there. And he showed up in an AMC Pacer and unloaded that entire drum set that you see.
Oh, are you serious?
Like, oh, shit.
Double bass drum kit.
And we hadn't even played a note. We set up, and he just took to it really quick. His double bass skills.
Dude, his double bass is flying too,
I
man.
was listening to that on the way home. I hadn't listened to it in a while. And I was like, damn, Ricky really had some feet. And,
the stamina, dude, like almost every song is just flying through his double bass parts, man.
Yeah, we knew when he showed up with that AMC Pacer filled with drums.
This is our guy right here. And now Francisco made a good, let me get this pulled up here, a good joke. He goes, was it bloody from beating up posers, your guitar? Get them.
Yeah, it was just so that's really it. We had a singer originally. Well, we had a singer, and it was weird. The way our very first public performance was at a Austin Independent School District band concert, which was banned all dangerous drugs. It was put on by Dare, and
okay,
all the schools in Austin had bands competing, and the night before that event, our singer quit and just walked out.
Oh, I hate when fucking members do shit like that.
So
wow.
The next day we were like, who the hell can sing? We're going to have to cancel. And Rick was like, well, I know all the words. Go ahead. And we just stuck with it.
Yeah, he ended up sounding great. He has a great attack, a different, the good high screams, but then like that good snarl too. Now, here we go. I found it. There's your drummer, man.
He always looked like that.
Yeah,
just fucking going for it,
always
full speed.
On,
yeah, yeah, awesome. Let's go back to let me find that one pic where you really get a good idea of like how big the guy's drum set was. Image. Give me a second, gentlemen. There's a lot of great pics in here. Yeah, here we go. I saw this pic and I was like, damn. Look at this shit, dude. If I didn't know better, I thought you guys would be on Metal Blade Records on tour with fucking Slayer and Voivod or something. Look at that. Look at that drum set.
That was the plan.
Man, that's where we were headed, yeah. And all
Yeah.
that came out of an AMC.
This is actually our first show at the Ritz. That's our
Okay.
first time on a real stage.
What now what Richard Santos said earlier was, now I don't know if this is that show, but is this the Rotting Corpse Valkyrie show or is this another show?
No, this was Watchtower and I think it was Watchtower and Militia and us.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds right.
And the way that happened, that Battle of the Bands, the bad concert they called it, we got disqualified. We only got through about a song and a half, and they
Too
shut us
heavy?
off. They cut power to the stage. We had people in the crowd. They started a little mosh pit. They stopped that. They made them all sit down. And then they were smashing into each other. They kept trying to turn us down, and we kept going to the amps and turning up. And
Yeah, there you go.
had enough, and they shut the power and disqualified us.
So
But
you
we ended up
tech-
winning second place, even though we were disqualified.
because you were so badass, they couldn't help it, man. They had to give it to
and we
you.
got the that's how we recorded the demo. The prize was 24 hours at Cedar Creek Studios.
Yeah, nice, dude.
Mountain Beavers, yeah.
I always wondered, like, for a demo from '85, this sounds really killer. Because
It's done in a full-on professional recording studio. We really went in thinking that we were going to get a hell of a lot more than 4 songs done in 24 hours, but I think we went over in doing the 4, just everything that was involved in it. And realistically, when we went in the studio to record this demo, we had probably been together less than 5 months, 4 or 5 months,
damn, that's
maybe if that long.
Yeah, it clicked. It was there.
And then after that concert, Jason McMaster came backstage and said, "You guys are incredible and different than anything. You want to play the Ritz next Saturday?"
really,
And-
yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was where we were going to see all the bands anyway. I mean, we saw Nasty Savage there, and you saw everybody would come
Did-
through and play the Ritz.
Did you guys ever make it down to San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I see. I was too young then. I missed out. Where did you play here? Do you remember?
The Cameo Theater a couple times,
That's right, man. You got a good memory, dude.
and the Bone Club when we were touring with DRI.
Oh wait, you guys toured with DRI?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 5
When was
nights.
that?
We did
5 nights. Yeah.
5 nights with DRI in
All through
80
Texas?
All through Texas.
All through Texas.
All the main ones.
Man, I'm learning some shit here. I didn't know you guys even toured with DRI. And the Bone Club, that was like San Antonio's original punk club too. So that's
Yeah.
legendary. Wow. Then the Cameo, that's a nice venue. That was like one of the top venues back then.
Oh, the Cameo was cool, man. I mean, it was one of those things. The San Antonio scene was very different than the Austin scene. The Austin scene was mostly just, ragtag bunch of teenagers, man. San Antonio, everybody showed up. I mean, the guys all came in long-haired and t-shirt, but the girls, they all came in dressed like they were going to the club. And that was very different than what we were used to seeing. And it was a whole different scene.
I can vouch for that. Yep.
It was
Back.
San Antonio was cool.
Yeah. I had no idea you guys played her. That's why I had to ask. Was that DRI show the one at the Ritz too? Ask Francisco.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the is that the one where I wonder if that's the same one that has the live video of them like that made it around back then? There was a VHS of them playing the Ritz in Austin. That's real popular back in the day. So maybe that was something. So you guys were on fire. Were you guys also like shopping it out to labels, or were you just playing shows and doing things? How was that going?
Jamie?
Yeah, I think we had Nick. Remember Nick? He was running some interference for us as a kind of a manager kind of thing and putting our name out there a couple of places. I think
Yeah, and then we had Mike Bevel, who was
that's him.
he ended up being a pretty substantial advertising executive. But at the time, he was from New York City, knew a lot of bands, knew everything. That's how he got hooked up with DRI. But yeah, we were shopping it around. I mean, we had sent the tape to just about everybody who would listen.
Wow. Were you getting some feedback?
Everybody wanted to hear more.
Yeah.
They probably, they were like probably looking for a
4
full
songs
length.
is like, yeah, that's cool, and being in Austin, Texas, nobody was gonna come out and see us play. We were gonna have to go to them, which was
You're gonna have to go West Coast, East Coast,
and everything.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, like, that's why the Texas scene was kind of like its own little world, because all the labels were on the East Coast or the West Coast. So a lot of bands, that got signed were East Coast, West Coast bands, right? And the Texas scene, like Hellstar got Metal Blade back then, but I think weren't they like the only one it kind of got on
They were really, Watchtower and all that, but a lot of those were self-produced, self-done. They had the money to do that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they put them out themselves.
Kids from the hood. We didn't have enough money to do that.
We put an album out.
If we would have had to pay for studio time, these 4 songs wouldn't exist in the way they are. Every one of the demos, and there was, I don't even remember how many. I would buy cases of cassette tapes at Radio Shack. So if anybody's got an original demo, it's probably on a Radio Shack cassette.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of high-speed dubbers, and we would sit there and make every one of those tapes by hand, and then fold them out and send them out. And there was thousands of them.
Yeah, I could tell the demo cover. It was like the thicker cardboardy type of stuff we used to use back then. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the tapes were like hand dubbed and all that. Like they weren't like sent to the factory or anything to be made.
Not at all.
No, we were putting them all out ourselves, man.
Do you have an idea of how many you made? Do you have an idea of how many you made?
I don't. It was that we were sending them everywhere. We were sending. Back then the fanzine thing was really cool. So
it seemed like we were always.
We sent it to everybody who would do it. We had a phone number and an address where you could mail and say, hey, send me a thing. We put it all over flyers and the demos that we did have, so people would pass it around. And the next thing you know, there was a lot of them.
Were you getting a lot of mail from like all over the place?
Yeah,
I remember that used to be the thing. It was like the mail would pile up from the bands and all that.
Oh yeah, we got tons of mail and fanzines that had write-ups on the demo and stuff. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool to see stuff.
Yeah, it was a cool DIY back then with the fanzines and all that. Really, I actually like that better than the internet nowadays. I like the fanzines and all that, because it was just seemed like there was more passion involved with people who made fanzines. And
good way to put it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And so when they like promoted a band, it wasn't just hey, we're a big label throwing money, promote this. It was like from the heart. Like these guys really liked the bands they would feature in there, so that's why they would do it. There wasn't a whole lot of money involved or anything.
Well said, man. Well said. Absolutely.
So when you guys started playing, how was the crowd reactions and all that? Did it start out with fist banging mania and evolved into like slam pits, or was it always like pitting, or what type of reaction in general did you have?
It depended. It started out like you said, fist banging, but there was a lot of stage diving, a lot of jumping around.
It really did kind of depend on who showed up that night,
Okay, yeah.
What you got,
because
some sort of split up in the front.
That too was also like kind of the beginning of the crossover era, where you were getting punks and metalheads going to shows together, especially at like a band like yours that played fast, and you could play like you did played with DRI, and
I think that was part of that right there on that same era.
Yeah,
because I think when we toured with DRI, we got a lot of feedback from them that they because by that point Rick had stopped kind of doing the scream as much. It was kind of,
Yeah, I know. I remember when that became uncool.
Yeah. So we just kind of stopped doing it. And we had a couple of songs that were probably borderline hardcore songs. That Idle Threats, I think, one. It was very fast and very, But yeah, it was just a different time. The crossover was big. We were trying to play anybody we could, we'd play with anybody that would let us. And I know there was a Rotting Corpse and Morbid Termination show that we did at the Ritz, and all those were self-done too. You'd rent the Ritz out for, I don't remember how much it was, and then you'd get the door and you'd do all that stuff. But you had to pay the Ritz out front, but you had to have your own sound guy, your own light guy.
I remember those days. Yeah,
you had all yourself.
Yeah,
it was everything.
Rent.
You'd make your own flyers, pass them out everywhere you could. We spent a lot of time, like you said, at Hog Wild Records, getting flyers up and demos to them, and they were always really good to us.
Did you meet Ruben Luna? He was one of the main metal guys at Hog Wild. Do you remember that name?
The name sounds very familiar. But
yeah, it had to be Ruben.
That was 40 years ago, and got potholes between there.
Potholes. Well said.
So it sounds like things were moving like quite fast and furious, right? With you guys, you were chucking along, getting killer shows like with tours and Texas tours with DRI, Rotting Corpse, and all these things. So what happened? Because next you don't hear much about what happened after the band. I just knew this fucking demo kicked ass. I didn't even know there was a second demo till like decades later. But Battalion of Death is like, to me, was like total badass. It was heavier than the Watchtowers and the Militias and all the other stuff. So, and it seemed like it was going in the right direction. So I'll let you guys take over. Like, what happened here?
Yeah. Jamie, go ahead.
No one wants to talk about. I mean, if it's a sore subject, it's all right.
It's not really a sore subject. I think it's just we've all told ourselves a story over the past 40 years to try and make it.
Okay, let me bring this up. Just before you guys start, Sean told me this is really like one of the first times the guys have gotten together and talked about shit, right? Since the last day of the band, or since the
minute, yeah, been a long, yeah.
So this is pretty fucking cool that you guys are. I want to thank you guys for doing this on my show because I had no idea. Like this is like one of the first times you guys got back together. So that's awesome. Oh, I got to shout out, name drop or whatever you want to say. Jason McMaster. He's the one that gave me Sean's contact. So shout out to Jason. So he put the ball in motion.
He's always been so good to us. Yeah.
I was like, because I was wanting to interview you guys before we start with the tell here, and I was like, well, who the fuck would know them? I go, Jason knows. Jason gotta know somebody. He knows everybody, one way or another. So he put it together. I mean, got the contact rolling. So anyway, going back to you guys, what happened, man?
I'll share my perspective first with the washboard dirt roads and potholes along the way.
Okay.
40 years, but I think at kind of like at the end of the DRI tour in Texas, I think we got invited to head east, and that might have been a time when we decided, we're going to try to live our lives or live on the road. And I think we made some decisions. I think Rick was wanting to go into the military, the singer. Do some of those sort of things, and I think it just kind of seemed like it fizzled out after a bit. I think maybe once he got in the military, Sean as well kind of pursued the military career. Well,
I think a lot of it is we were invited to pretty much tour all east and then head west from once we get to Seattle or something, and the shows were starting to get lined out and what it was looking like. And then it became real. Everybody had jobs. Everybody had, and it was very difficult to try and figure out how it was going to go on. So it kind of got this, all right, what are we going to do? And we all left practice. And I would say heated, but I don't remember exactly how everybody was frustrated, And then I got home. And my girlfriend at the time, who happened to be my best friend's sister, not a good idea, was pregnant.
Oh, jeez.
So I just freaked out and joined. I mean, I ran away and joined the circus, man. I joined the Air Force and did all that just because I knew I had a kid. I didn't have any way to make money. I wasn't going to try and put my kid through me trying to make a living playing music. So I just ran away from it all.
Well, I mean that's a life-changing event right there,
So I think basically, we kind of come to the same crossroads there. I think life just kind of caught up to us, and we had to make a decision, right? The fork in the road. We're gonna try to make a living on the road and keep on through it. And I think Sean's John's dad was just amazing. I don't know, I still don't know how to the day how he put up with all of us, getting us through to the gigs and getting us loaded and unloaded.
Oh, your dad was helping you guys out?
Yeah, he drove the van because it was a different time. We were in probably no condition to be driving after a show.
No, I mean, that's probably smart. You probably do best. Like, well, I'll drive these little fuckers because they're going to be.
My dad drove us around in the van, and he kind of lived vicariously through us for a while, but it was fun.
Well, I guess this kind of answers Francisco's question. Do their families know of the band? I mean, I guess maybe now, like, do you ever talk about this with your families? I mean, I don't know.
It comes up occasionally. Just during this whole process, it's came up, and I've got a 12-year-old granddaughter.
Okay.
And she wants to start a band, and she wants to get drums. And somehow, my daughter told her about Syranax.
Yeah.
She looked it up on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yeah.
You get this text message going, "Grandpa, this stuff is fire."
That's awesome,
I don't
though.
even get it. So yeah, I mean, it's never been. For me, it's always been really fond memories. I mean, I actually wish I had a better memory of those times. It was just happening so fast because we literally went from we've never played a show to opening up for major acts in the Ritz in like a month.
Yeah,
2 months.
It was,
But the jams back it up, dude. I mean,
so we went from 0 to 100 really fast.
We were young, man, trying to figure it out. And it just come a time when, I guess, like you say, you hit the crossroads. We got to decide whether we're going to adult or hit the road.
I mean that's because some bands don't even get to that point that ever. I mean, like, and you guys were hitting it fast, but I can see too as young men, your lives are kind of I'm getting off philosophical, but your lives are ahead of you, and you're like, shit, what am I going to do? Like you said, it got real serious real fast, right? Like all of a sudden tours and you'd have to make sacrifices, like you're not going to make a lot of money right off the bat, and
right.
And everybody still has bills to pay. Bills don't go away just because you want to be fucking Mr. Fun Times out on the road. Yeah, rock starring it out or pretending to be a rock star, like which most bands do.
I think that was kind of part of our I won't say downfall, but we had all been working and trying to get independent, and we were right between that age of young enough that you've never had a responsibility, so you can just take off on the road, and old enough that we've accumulated responsibilities and shit we've got to take care of. How do you bridge that gap? And I think some of us were probably more willing than others to risk it all. But especially that night, before I realized that she was pregnant, probably willing to risk it all. I didn't give a shit.
You're ready to fucking do this shit, yeah.
45 minutes later, when I get the thing that I'm going to be a daddy when I'm 19 years old.
Yeah, that kind of changes perspective real quick, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So now, do you guys think it's like funny or crazy that 40 years later there's interest in the band?
I do.
I love it.
I know.
I'm thinking it's bring it back.
There you go. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I am surprised that people 40 years later, especially, I know that there was the second demo that had some songs, but the production quality for 4 songs from literally 40 years ago to still garner this kind of attention is pretty impressive for me. Yeah. I'm very proud to have been part of it, and if I had it to do all over again, we probably would have been a little smarter about things. But
the things older, you didn't know as a younger person, make all the fucking difference. I'm the same way. Like, damn, if I knew what I knew now, things would have been totally different. But that's all part of it.
It's amazing to still have all this support.
How close we potentially were to being in a position where it wouldn't have been a big problem. You know,
No, right on the looking like right on the verge. You know, like,
yeah, I mean, you know, we had label interest, we had people interested, we had people paying to bring us out to LA. We were ready to go, but it just didn't. I don't think it hit us how much that could have changed our life. And there's times that I look back and go, I'm kind of glad for it, because I think it may have saved my life. We were burning the candle at both ends
yeah.
and living like rock stars, and it was really well.
Literally.
Some of us did.
Yeah, let me backtrack because there's nothing. 80s was a totally different world. You know, we didn't know many things, and I remember it was like very, how can I say it it wasn't as pussified, right? You had to go fucking hard. That's how I remember it. Like, you know, there was like, if you're gonna party, you partied hard, you know, you fucking rocked hard. Everything was just like, to me, how I remember it was just like times 100. You know, obviously people mellow out and things have changed over the years, but 80s was just like boom, 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 you know, like, and right in the culture too, it was like kind of more just, I don't know, extreme to me, but I might be nostalgic remembering it that way, but that's how I remember it. It was just like, see, yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to get anybody in trouble talking about anything, but you know, it's just the way it was. Now, here's a good question. Do you guys have any stuff rough from the band, shirts, demos, or any of that stuff floating around the house?
I think I've got a shirt folded up in a box in the closet.
Yeah.
I got quite a bit of stuff. I think one of my more treasured memorabilia is that I got a snare drum head that Ricky busted at the show, and I can't remember, he put something on there like, "This is how it's done."
Oh, nice. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it, you know. Somehow.
That's the type of stuff people want to. Now, I remember when I bought my Syranax shirt, and if I remember correctly, I know I got it from Hogwild. I remember it said on the back, "The Battalion of Death will rise from hell," and I just thought that was the coolest, most metal shit I ever saw. You guys made your shirt sleeveless, right?
That one, the first one, and that was kind of one of the things that we did from the early onset too. As soon as we had a show at the Ritz booked, we had the tapes to sell because we had just done the studio time. We had T-shirts printed, so we showed up to our very first show ever with merch and looked like we'd been there before. And I think that's one of the things that no matter where we went and where
these guys got it together. They already got merch and everything.
Yeah, these guys. I mean, we presented ourselves as something way more important than we were. Or at least
man,
more experienced.
It seemed like we had our stuff together. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Perception works, you know. Like it doesn't really matter what really is true. It's just what the perception looks like. And if you show up like that, you know, like, oh man, this like, are these guys a touring band? Like, you know, like they already got merch and shit. But I just want to say to my crowd, there's a joke, you know, like, because most of the time I have sleeveless shirts because in the summer it's hot as fuck, so I cut off the sleeves of my shirts. But your shirt was so badass. It came sleeveless. The sleeves were already blown off, guys. This is like, it was already metal straight from purchase. You didn't have to fucking blow it off. Now this is a crazy, from Jake. He's like one of the Austin regulars. He's like, reunion show, please. I'm like, I don't know about that. What? That's up to you guys. But this would like, I would fucking probably have to get treatment from an ambulance if Syranax and Nickervore reunion show happened on the same bill. I'd be like, oh, okay. That would be
what, it really is amazing to still have all that support after like these 40 years that you say, man. You know,
yeah, I mean, I always
grateful for all of that, you know.
I really thought this was like one of the best demos ever out of Texas, and you know, I mean, diehard people know about it, but I just think like more people need to know about it. You know, like this was like ahead of like the thrash movement because, you know, you're coming out same time Hell Awaits came out, you know, and that was like what the most extreme thrash maybe, you know, of that time on a major label. And I'm not gonna say it was like, did you guys like consider yourself thrash or more death metal, or did you even think like that, or what or were you like more like this? You know, the terms were loose back then. You had hardcore thrash,
Yeah.
you know, and all these different terms, you know, hardcore thrash, even metalcore, which totally meant something totally different back in them days than what people think of metalcore now. Like, did you guys even think of that? Were you guys just like doing your thing, like just ripping metal?
I think it was just, we listened to so much from, you know, King Diamond to Lethal Aggression, and somewhere in the middle was where we fell. You know, I mean, it was kind of speed metal, it was kind of thrash metal. It had parts that were, I don't think we tried really hard to define ourselves. We just knew that we were doing something, and looking back, there was a lot of bands around the country at almost the exact same time playing very similar music. Dark Angel, Death, so it's not that different. It was just unique for Austin, and
Or maybe Texas. Yeah.
We had never heard of a lot of these bands that a year later released an album, or 2 years, and you go, wow, that sounds an awful lot like what we were doing at the same time, but we didn't know about them.
Yeah, I mean, it was super underground. Now the chat's saying they want to see some of this merch, some of these broken drum heads and all that. So if you guys want to show it on here, that's that would be cool.
It's in the closet, man. But yeah,
you gotta dig through shit.
Yeah. Still got the shirt too, and I think I have both of the shirts and one of the original tapes. So, yeah, a little bit better prepared, I would have had it in hand for you. At least I got the.
Well, I mean, Francisco's jumping the gun, but has anyone ever approached you guys to reissue the demo? I got the green light that we can talk about this from Mr. Disgustor himself. So why we got a good crowd. Let's talk about what's going on with the demo and a reissue.
Yeah, I know pre-social media days, I guess, well, maybe not pre-social media days, but in the early stages, somebody from Texas Metal Archive was a website.
Yes.
Reached out to us, and he went to Cedar Creek and somehow finagled the original tapes out of them and remastered it and sent me a CD. But I didn't know how to get a hold of anybody. So it just kind of sat there. I don't know what he did with it, or if he actually re-released it as a demo, but
I never saw
a couple
anything.
weeks ago, we were approached to know if, to see if we would be okay with it. And I think okay. Yeah, I think that's really flattering, and really, it's pretty cool.
So, what the deal is, Headsplit Records approach you guys to reissue the demo, correct?
Yeah.
So, there will be a tape and a CD reissue, as far as I understand, of the demo through Headsplit, right?
I haven't heard anything. I just said, hey, I don't. The only tapes we have are those. What the demo that you've played earlier.
Yeah.
So, and he said, oh no, we got that all figured out, and I hadn't heard much from him.
Yeah, this is Dylan Disgustor from Headsplit Records, his alternate personality. I asked him, like, did you work out something with them? And he goes, yeah, I think so. So I think he does want to reissue it. So if you're looking to get this, it will be available. And I heard some good versions of this around. I wonder if these are those remastered versions, or just there's ways technology. Dylan can figure it out. He'll make it sound great. They'll do all that somehow. And even if straight from the tape, it sounds great. So I'm sure they can just do the studio trickery to make it sound even better that they have nowadays. So
certainly,
I think that's great, because I think
forward to it,
I think Headsplit is kind of like the perfect label to put out this type of material, because it's just a good underground metal label that has the respect of the underground and all that, and he's done a couple other killer reissues of older bands. So I'm fucking excited to see this, because I know everybody hates it, but I'm a CD guy. I don't even buy records anymore. I just buy CDs. I'll get tapes here and there if that's the only way I can get them. So I'm like, ooh, CD. So I'm looking forward to it. And I know that you guys got plenty of pictures to put in the packaging, because Sean, that you sent me like over like 100 and something pictures for this show. So I think we could have a really killer release on our hands, when this comes through, man.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And even more people will know the greatness of Sarinax. So once the pre-order up, no, just kidding. Discography, CD, and tape. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, well, we'll see. Are there any unfinished songs? Were you guys working on stuff that wasn't quite, ready to go yet, and just kicking in the back?
I mean, there was probably, I don't even remember how many songs, but we had a good set, way more than, Jamie, I don't know, how many, 15, 20 at least?
Oh man, I know. Yeah, it seems like we were always pulling something together, but yeah, it was probably around that 20 plus.
So we had 20 plus songs. So I don't know if any songs were actually in the works at the time. I think we were preparing. We had just come off that DRI tour and was just kind of preparing for the next step, playing the same songs, getting tighter, and
Okay, let's go into the crystal ball here. And okay, so maybe not like having to do a full-on reunion show, but is there a possibility that like you could go into a studio and finish these things? Is that a possibility, you think? Or is that asking too much?
I haven't played in 15 years.
Oh man, yeah, I know Ricky's still playing. He's playing quite a bit, and then I'm still actively playing just about every other weekend. So maybe not so much cement anymore, but still breaking distortion pedal.
Yeah. No. What I noticed too is even like if you even haven't played, you start playing. I think within a month, if you're like playing like at least 3 times a week or so, just playing in your room, whatever. I think it all starts to come back. It's not. I don't think it ever really leaves. You just got to get sharpened up. I'm just trying to talk you into finishing up them songs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's always. I won't rule anything out, but I don't know how that would be a tremendous.
Fingers still move as fast as they used to.
I'm sure they don't, but
just write that root note.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Regardless, man.
I'd like to put that into the works, though, for sure. I think that would be fun to, like, say, even if it's a remote thing, and try to piece them together somehow on tracks.
Yeah. It can be done if you really want to, get it done. You can do it. What was the first concert you guys went to? Bet it was a badass one. Do you guys remember your first concert or something?
First concert ever?
Sure. Why not?
Eric Clapton,
badass.
My first metal show.
Yeah. Now you're metal.
Oh man. Huh.
Metallica and Raven.
Shit.
Yeah, Raven. Yeah, Metallica warmed up for him.
That's right. That was their first U.S. tour, Metallica Raven.
Wow. I want to say my very first was like Judas Priest and Def Leppard.
Wow.
Give me just a second.
Yeah,
All right.
So,
yeah. Oh, wait. Hey, wait! Don't let me.
Now you're solo. So what was your first like underground metal show? Was it so like one of those Watchtower gigs? Was it Slayer? Did you ever see SA Slayer up there in Austin?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I love those guys. Yeah.
Oh, see, there you go. That's what I want to hear about.
Man, it makes me proud to still see them doing their thing. I see their feeds every once in a while. See Mike still pulling it off. So that.
Yeah, it's very very killer. They're doing a great job. Like reunion and sound badass.
I want to say probably one of my more memorable ones. I saw Slayer at Liberty Lunch, and the mosh pit was just so crazy. There was broken glass all over the ground, and you were in the pit. Don't go down.
No, this was LA Slayer.
No,
Oh, it's SA Slayer.
Yeah, LA Slayer. LA Slayer. Yes.
LA Slayer, yeah. And I know we in Texas will have to, say LA Slayer and SA Slayer. No, that's fine because that's how it was.
Yeah, forgiveness.
Yeah. People say like Slayer, like, nah, well, there's LA Slayer.
No,
But especially back then, that's how we differentiated between them, man.
Yeah, we got the original.
Broken glass, dude, that is brutal. That's when they used to sell the beer bottles at the clubs and everything. Right. Yeah.
Go down.
Yeah, you're gonna come up razored face. Yeah, dude. Those old Slayer shows were so brutal, dude.
Man, there was some times I can tell you that I think the one show that really stuck in my mind was we did it was in Corpus Christi on that DRI tour through Texas, and we had mentioned where we were staying at the hotel, to the crowd, and like everybody showed up, and by the time we broke down and got our gear back in, and we pulled up to the hotel, and it was just wall-to-wall people. There were folks out in the parking lot. It was a classic 80s party, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
The TVs in the swimming pool, man.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like, it was up a notch in the 80s, you just get away. Maybe it's just because you could just get away with more shit. There wasn't security everywhere. There wasn't, phones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was funny talking about just funny stories. Anthrax played the Cameo Club, or the Cameo Theater in San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
We were all down there. We get after the show. Charlie and Scott get in my car, and we go to Denny's with a couple of other folks. And, it was us and the guys, Charlie left a SOD shirt in the back of my car. I had that. I still have that to this day that he just left in the back of my car. But we're in Denny's, and somebody's like, "Aren't you in that band?" And at the same night, Gloria Estefan was playing there, and Scott just proceeded to tell them for 20 minutes how they were the, the Gloria Estefan and
the Miami Sound Machine. Is that what
he was trying to explain to them that they were the Miami Sound Machine, and it was a lot of fun.
That's fucking awesome.
That was just kind of crazy shit that used to go on. I got a few pictures of Slayer when they played at the Ritz.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Ritz is the place to play. I mean, I've seen Motorhead there, King Diamond, Slayer.
Okay, let me ask you this from the old days. What town in Texas was the most brutal when you were like, I'm talking like crowd reactions with stage diving, slamming back then? Was it Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas? Like, in your eyes, let's hear it from the guys who actually played it,
I think Houston, one of the shows we played in Houston, DRI, was insane. Yeah.
Their hometown. Yeah.
But it was in this really bad part of Houston, in this what really looked like an abandoned warehouse. There was a stage. There was very little.
I'm not sure all of that's far from the truth.
But it was insane. I remember at one point I was playing bass on somebody's shoulder, running around the mosh pit. Somebody picked me up off the stage and took me off. It was insane. But that was probably the most crowd craziness. I mean, there was, the Ritz always had a good showing. The Cameo always had a good showing. I mean, they were different. They behaved differently. There was more moshing in Austin than there was in San Antonio at that time.
San Antonio was more heavy metal.
Yeah.
Especially back then. Yeah.
But yeah, Houston was probably the most bizarre experience ever.
I think that's the one where we ended up with like a hole in the middle of the stage or something, and I had to, you just had to not try to step into that hole.
You guys created a hole, or there was a hole there?
I think we may have created.
Oh shit!
We may have created a hole, and then we had to dodge it around. And try to
Could have been the band before us.
Was someone getting pile drive into the middle of the stage?
But yeah, then from then on, you're like, man, you got to watch where that hole was, run into it.
Yeah, let's take a look at some more pictures. Let's go down old memory lane here. Let me get this pulled up for you guys, because some of these pictures are so awesome. I think I recognize this place. When was this taken?
I'm not seeing it yet, buddy.
Janie Garza from San Antonio, who was really in the scene as a photographer back then. She took us out one night in San Antonio to take, promotional shots. And a lot of these are them. I mean, there's one of Jamie kissing a cop horse where we almost got arrested. And then there's one of me ringing the bells on the river walk, and apparently you're not supposed to do that either. So there's another one in the police.
Let me find. I think let me look over.
Probably inebriated young men running around the river walk, taking pictures, trying to be as bizarre and as rebellious as we could, and I think we were pretty successful.
That cop horse.
I forgot about that on the Alamo, but
yeah. Then here we go. So,
the cops.
Is this that incident?
Yes,
I think it probably led up to it.
I think that's the Bell incident, because there's a couple other pictures where Jamie's kissing the police horse.
Yeah, I thought if I can put that in this file, man. Hold on. That picture was hilarious. We're just going to have to find an image.
Oh.
do. Jamie, you're kissing the horse now. Was the horse talking back to you? Here we go. Yeah. It has been found. Here it is. Like,
whispering sweet nothings in my ear.
But they did not think it was as funny as we did, but that's all right.
No.
So these were all pictures that were intended to be, album liner pictures and stuff like that. If that ever happened, we had got a manager at this point. We had some people doing publicity with us, and then we had a couple of photographers that we were working with. So we were really kind of planning for the future.
Yeah.
I think, Liliana Martinez and
I remember her. Yeah.
Janie Garza, they did a lot of stuff for us.
Man, they were great people. Yeah, absolutely.
She was always at the shows.
Right.
Yeah, and I know anytime we play in San Antonio, they always put us up and made sure we had a place to stay. And being a bunch of white kids from Austin going to a Hispanic house in San Antonio and waking up Sunday morning to eggs and chorizo and that was better than a bed and breakfast. I'm telling you, it was.
Oh yeah, man! When you're the white boy and you get your first like real Mexican breakfast, at like not at a taqueria, but at someone's home and all that, you're like, holy shit, this is fucking the bomb, dude! Look at all this food and taste.
This beats home.
Yeah. I think it's a rite of passage for every white boy in San Antonio to experience that at some point. To get a real fucking meal. All right, let's find some more pictures here. Here's that crazy drummer of yours. What's he up to right here, man? Is he gonna beat up that thing, or what's going on here?
That's in the studio. It's Cedar Creek Studios,
yeah.
I think his name. What was his name? Scott Remmer was the. It's probably on the cassette liner, but he was the producer, the person running the thing, and he had never heard anything like us before ever.
Sometimes that's good, right? Because
I think Willie Nelson had recorded here, Stevie Ray Vaughan recorded here, and then four crazy kids show up.
Here comes Sarinax playing Death Punch, fucking metal. I mean, this actually looks like it was taken straight from the "You Got to Fight for Your Right to Party" video or something, like.
Yeah, he's that's just us in the studio. That in his hand there may be why it took us 24 hours to do 4 songs. But yeah, I mean that was we got there early in the morning and started drinking and we're playing music, and I think at this point we're in there trying to mix, and Ricky's telling us that we're doing the drums all wrong because
Oh yeah, those they don't understand. Your drummer, he's doing all this crazy stuff. He's not in time, and what the hell is he doing? It's like, nah, man, this is how it's supposed to be. All right, let's find some more. Let's show some of these fucking live pics I showed down. Look at you guys, man, coming out, fucking kicking ass and taking names with the fucking leather and spikes and everything. Look at that. That's fucking awesome. That brings back memories, dude. Like
Oh man,
of those shows like that back then. Wow. Where do you remember where this is at? Is this an easy one? I can't.
I think that's Ritz.
Ritz.
I think it's the Ritz.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how holes ended up in the stage. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, you know, I think we did smash a guitar or two on that stage.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I hope it wasn't a nice
we
one.
Full on Rockstar one time and go out there and do a solo, and I smashed a bass. And there's a picture somewhere of me playing, and I've got blood all down the side of my face because when I smashed the bass,
I think I saw
cut
that.
my finger, and I didn't realize it, and I bled all over my bass, all over my face. I was just wiping sweat off, and it was just a bloody mess, but it was fun.
Look at this young man.
Yeah.
Oh, see, there's after the blood incident.
Yeah, I can see it on the bass.
We got to think about blood on our guitars, I guess.
It must be like a rite of passage in your band. If there's no blood on your instrument, poser alert, you're out of here.
That was in Jamie's garage practicing.
Yeah.
Look at that fucking old Slayer shirt, man. One of the original. That's badass, dude. See, 80s metal, it's just some, I don't know, man. There's just something different. It's always, there's something true to it, as you know, they like to say. Yeah,
and
the passion.
I think what makes it unique is it really is the first. It's, you know, Slayer through, you know, I include us in there, but all those early thrash bands, 85, 86, 87, that was really the beginning of all of it. You know, I mean, people have been doing it since, and maybe they've gotten better at it, or it's evolved. But that it was just it's kind of like listening to classic rock. You know, the first few rock songs.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's the first anybody had heard anything like this, and I think short of L.A. Slayer and some bands like that, when we started playing, nobody had heard anything like that live.
Yeah, you guys were pretty. Like, I think like 86, you know, San Antonio got like a band called Hell Preacher. Well, Valkyrie, was Valkyrie 85 or 86? I can't remember when their demo first came out. It's one or the other. I'm sure they're watching.
I know there was Carrion.
Yeah, Carrion.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're pulling back some names.
But not
Is that the Panzer?
Panzerfaust, yeah, or Panzer.
That was,
Someone's got a nice Iceman right there. Shit.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we kept Ray Hennings and South Austin Music in business because we couldn't keep a guitar very long. I mean, well, James, he still got the one from 1985, but
I mean, those are some nice axes right there too, man. I always love Icemans, you know.
Oh yeah.
Freaking, you know. First, you know, I saw Paul Stanley, then Tom G, and then John from Nickelvore, and I was like, that's just a fucking metal guitar. So it goes without, you know, saying it would make sense you guys had an Iceman. Here we go. Here's a nice group pick.
Ricky's still in the same shirt.
he's always in the same shirt.
Is that the only one he had?
I was wondering, is this all the same night? This is the same Iron Maiden shirt. That's awesome, though. That's a cool shirt. The Slayer shirt, the classic Slayer shirt, dude. I love it. I mean, right there, that's like a fucking metalhead, fucking 1985, right?
Yeah.
Metalhead 1985. Boom, there you go.
There you go.
Rick's wearing a Death and Destruction fanzine shirt that was ran by Mike Bevel, who was our manager. I'm wearing an original white Syranax shirt. from the beginning. So, and then the Iron Maiden and the early Slayer shirt. It screams 80s metal.
Yeah.
Now you see where we all came from.
I still think that story with your granddaughter finding your band online is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
That's
fire,
so,
Grandpa. It's fire.
look at that shit. We can't downplay. This was fucking badass. Look at the crowd. I like that. Just reminds me, like, all right, I'm going down. The Via Fontana in San Antonio was like one of the really early, like, places where a lot of bands like this would play. It just totally looks like it's taken from those days at that club. There's that Iceman. There's Sean just headbanging away. Your drummer going at it back there. Look, man, these are some cool pics. I appreciate the pics, man. It really helps. Having pictures speak 1,000 words, right? You guys don't have to explain. You can just see it, man. It shows the truth. What else we got going here? Did I show this one?
Oh, nice.
Now, this looks like you're at a punk club, obviously.
Yeah,
that's with DRI in Dallas.
Oh, that's in Dallas? Do you remember the club?
I can't remember if it was the Cabaret Voltaire. I can't remember if that was in Dallas or Houston, but I can't remember the name of the club.
It's fucking cool. Yeah, y'all's backdrop was sick too. Who made that? Is that still around? Does anybody have that?
I don't.
Man, I don't know. I may have one folded up somewhere in there. We used to have.
Yeah, it was spray paint in a bed sheet.
Yeah.
Cabaret was Houston.
Cabaret was Houston.
Yeah,
Okay.
this dude would know.
I can't remember the name in Dallas.
Well, all right. Well,
Circle A Ranch.
we're gonna have to do a part 2 down the road when the CD, the reissue of the CD and tape come out, and you guys can have all the stuff from back in the days. We'll have it handy, and that would make a fun show, to promote the reissue and then have all them show off some of the old merch and banners and everything. Then we'll have you guys do like a live set in the studio and all.
Perfect.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put Dylan on the spot because he's in the chat. Hey, Dylan, what is the time frame you think of getting this out? I'm sure it ain't gonna be next week, obviously, but hopefully it's within the year or early next year would be really nice. Here we go.
Ooh.
Okay, I noticed, Jamie, you started wearing a white coat. Now, were you a Billy White fan? Is this what this is coming from?
That was kind of seemed the trend. It was like whatever was working. Try to follow some of that, and it wasn't the thing, man.
Yeah, no, I remember Billy White started wearing that too as well, and around then I was like, well, they're from Austin, so they got to, obviously be fans of Watchtower. Who the hell is calling? Jesus. Scam.
Yeah, I think Jason was kind of an ever-present thing around Sarinax. I mean, Watchtower and us we did a lot of stuff together.
We really did, man. They were,
We did not discuss what Syranax means.
That's a great question because I don't even have no idea what is the origin here of that word.
Jamie?
No, go ahead, buddy. This is all you, man. I'm gonna let you
we didn't have a name, and I think, Jamie, weren't you reading a book and it had something? Maybe it was Syranax or something similar, and it was like, okay, there it is, and nobody could ever say it. I mean, it was a joke at one point. People would call us Saran wrap.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was like some sort of a mystical beast kind of thing, and some story that we were reading, and it had it.
So then we had this guy Manny, who was a friend of the band. He was a pretty good artist, and he drew the album cover or the demo cover.
Yeah.
And kind of created this whole guy, and he's on the T-shirts and all that stuff. And he's the warrior Sarinax, and he runs around and
he got upgraded the spikes, right? And he was like that on the cover of the shirt. Had the spikes, and you should update that. Handy Manny. That's stupid, dude. Yeah, let me see if there's any more pictures we can get into here. This is a cool one. Is this at the missions or something, or still at the Alamo? Or no, that's the Riverwalk.
That's the Riverwalk where I banged the bell.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
That's right, there it is.
Police officer that we had the picture of earlier.
Ba-ding. Yeah, especially back then, they were real touchy about shit. I mean, they still are, but oh god, back then.
Yeah, they didn't want us up there, and I've walked by there since then, and I'm not 100% sure how I got up there, but
well, you're a young man, and probably, yeah, you can do a lot more shit. Put your mind to it sometimes. Alcohol, the ultimate fuel. Do you guys remember any notable fanzine interviews? Like, were you getting interviews in bigger fanzines? Do you remember anything like that?
We were, but I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head. I'd have to. I don't even know if I still have them. I lost a bunch of stuff several years ago. But there was a lot of fanzines. We were getting them from all over the world.
Yeah, we got one in German, I think, one time too.
Yeah,
something like that.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I hope they're talking good about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think they was bothered if they wanted to, this the clown.
Them Germans, they know their metal, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe maybe you guys. What is that one where they get all the Texas metal bands to play in Germany? Come on, someone in the chat.
Militia and
Militia, Watchtower, SA Slayer all went. Why not Syranax, man? Why not?
Love it.
That would be that'd be badass, dude. Wow. Let's go back to these live. I showed this, but we're gonna show it. Keep it true, yeah.
Oh boy, there it is.
That
drum set of death. That's it.
On that riser too, man. Now I guess that was just the Ritz regular drum riser from the shows. Like that's just their stage.
Yeah, we didn't pack that in. I know that. Yeah, that's probably came with the rental.
That is like, yeah. I mean, first show too, insane.
Yeah, that's,
all right.
That's the first one.
All right, let's play another song, and we'll come back and talk just a little longer, and we'll wrap this show up. But you guys are great guests, man. So far, it's been fucking killer.
Great time, man. Thank you.
Get some more Sarinax. You want me to play anything? You guys want to pick a jam?
Rick?
Any? Wheels of Hades? That's a fucking killer jam. Yeah, there we go. We'll play that one.
Wheels of Hades, fist of hell, sing that of hand, that hell will, sword in hand, for blood, safety, the young, kills the young.
All right, yeah, dude, that shit fucking. I always love that part. Dun, 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 dun. It just starts building up
driving,
intensity, dude. It's like,
Driving.
damn.
That was always a fun song to play live because, for lack of a better term, it was catchy. People remembered those words and they would sing it. I mean, it was the first song that everybody would just sing along to. The whole crowd would be going.
I could totally see that, man. It's so good.
And that was really it was the most fun song to play live because everybody connected with it and could remember the words and sang along and really, felt part of the whole thing. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was like you're saying, it's epic. It just builds up and builds up. It's that dun 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 wheels up, and then the scream is excellent. Yeah, fucking total metal. Yeah, that's when those raise your hands with the goblet, fucking
Yeah. See it.
Yeah. Dude, there you go, man. If I was at that show and I heard that part, I would have fucking headbanged my little fucking brains out back then. I would have to order the Metal Church neck brace the next day because I would oh shit, my neck, I can't move. You guys remember that in the Metal Church album, in their merch, they had the Metal Church neck brace in there. That was it. I should have ordered one of those, or somebody needs to make those again. I don't bootleg them or something. Those were great. So, what are you guys up to nowadays? What's going on with you two? Is there you play? Well, obviously it looks like Jamie. It looks like you're still playing. Are you playing in any bands? Are you doing anything of that nature still?
Yeah, I got a couple of little things going on. Not quite the metal days anymore. Kind of slowed into some more melodic stuff, I guess. Well, not that the metal wasn't, but just kind of slowed down a little bit. Like a fine wine, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the one only when the foolish one's over 50, that's still trying to go hard with metal. So it is what it is.
Hey, but, not that we're still not having those private sessions at home, and man,
the closet metalhead moment.
Nothing like a great, you see the still got the stacks over here, and nothing like a drop tune guitar to.
They start riffing it out.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And Sean, what are you up to nowadays?
Yeah, mostly now. I mean, working. I ride in a motorcycle club that keeps me pretty occupied.
Okay.
I mean, I've still got a bass and an amp. I played pretty consistently up until about 15 years ago. Just kind of lost interest. When I was in the military, two really good friends of the band who happened to be my brothers through my first marriage. So they were my brothers-in-law, but I got them in the divorce.
There you go.
They moved to Florida as well. We started a band and we played quite a few shows. It was pretty cool. We opened for Gore a couple times and played for local folks coming through town. But really didn't do much with it. We just kind of stayed right there where we were from, but we had a good time.
Cool. So you were still active. You did some stuff afterwards too, so that's still fun. Here's a good question. Who are the biggest Syranax fans? Did you have roadies / super fans that would carry gear? Like, I love, I don't mind that at all. If you want to help carry in gear, go for it, But did you guys have any?
Doug and Ed, which are my brothers that I was talking about.
You did just literally talked about. Okay.
Yeah. It was a friend of ours, and I don't remember how we met the guy. He was a redneck. We called him Rodney Redneck. That's not even his damn name. But he had a cowboy hat and cowboy boots, and he was a huge metalhead, and he'd help us carry stuff in and do that a lot. Then,
I remember people like that.
Yeah, I mean,
country metalheads, man. They were around.
When we toured with DRI, Jeff Tweedy, who was Billy White's guitar tech for a long time, came with us to help us out. So yeah.
Nice.
There was a lot of people, and then fans. It's hard to remember, but there was some great people in the scene back then. I mean, I know they're still here, but
yeah, those adventures were quite the memories.
Are you guys still in Austin, the whole band, or is everybody scattered around the country now? Or
we're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple of guys. We're still in Austin. We got a couple I'm in Austin.
You're in
Rick's,
Austin.
Rick's in Austin. I'm in Dallas.
All right, okay, not too far.
Not too far. Geographically, still in Texas.
Yeah.
I think Rick is down in around Pflugerville area, if I'm not mistaken.
Rick's a little. Ricky is in. I think he's in Pflugerville, and Rick lives in Buda, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, not too bad. I mean, still in Texas. Not like someone lives in Montana or something like that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I agree with dude. Those super fans of the underground are really what makes shit go around and make it somewhat worth it. Haha, total maniacs. And he's right. You know, without these super fans, who would be watching this? You know, like.
Well, who would be watching this? Who would have thought about it? I mean, there was a lot of people that got involved in the scene, and what was cool is the bands, even the big touring bands, when they came into town and played the Ritz or the Cameo or places like that. All right, JH, Pflugerville represent. I'm actually in Pflugerville right now.
Pflugerville.
Those
World
folks,
famous Pflugerville. Woo.
The bands were approachable. We were involved. We'd go out. We were a fan that happened to spend a few minutes on stage before then. I mean, it was
Amen to that, dude. Yeah.
We would play a show. I remember one time we played with Watchtower at a parking garage that they decided for one night they were going to turn into a music venue. They called it the Exotic Garage, and we played a good set. Then Watchtower played a full set, and then they played a set of nothing but Rush songs. And it was just in a parking garage with no, there was lots of people there. The people made the scene, and we were all right there as soon as we get off stage. Or even, the headlining bands when we're playing are out there right up at the front of the stage listening to us. So we were right there with the fans. We were just fans that happened to play.
That's
the world went round. Yeah, that's so true.
That's I think it's still a lot of that's still true to this day. It's like everyone started out as a fan, and even when you get like to a next level of your band, I always liked it when I would see, like, if I was playing that and you saw the band, the main headliner or whatever, like checking out your band or whatever. It's like, that's fucking cool, right? That's still cool to see that goes on, like, because some band, some people get jaded or whatever and they don't come and watch the opening acts anymore or whatever. So it's still cool to see some bands are still fans and do that. And yeah, dude, Watchtower's crazy. I mean, that was one thing too. Yeah. I think back then that you didn't get away with that you can get away with now. You really had to play good, like, especially in the metal world. Like, I'm not saying you have to be like Yngwie Malmsteen, but you had to be somewhat pretty good. To get the props. And where nowadays I think it's you can get away with more. Like, there's like not like the solos and all that like there used to be and all that. And how do you guys feel that way, or do you even pay attention to any the newer trends in metal, or what? I don't know. Or am I just being nostalgic again, saying everything was better in the 80s? I don't know.
Less synthesizers.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the new metal sounds very similar to themselves. It's hard for me, as somebody who's not a super fan or really into it, when I hear it, to be able to distinguish some of the bands from other, but back in the old days, Slayer, Exciter, Suicidal Tendencies, you could tell who that band was as soon as they started playing.
Yeah.
And I think that was really interesting because everybody was doing their own completely unique thing. I don't even think we were influenced by each other. We would just do our thing, and it happened to work. I think so many bands now, they sound a lot like somebody else, and maybe it's just because there's 40 years of somebody
that's part of it for sure.
When we started, there was 0 years of people you could sound like.
There were less sharks in the pool,
Yeah, because I know we've been compared a lot of times sound wise to Dark Angel, and we came out at almost the exact same time and had never heard each other. So it's fun to have two people that have kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, there's some Dark Angel there, maybe, but it like you said, it kind of really be when you guys already you wrote these songs before you even knew Dark Angel existed, like it's not really, there's no influence there. Where a lot of things nowadays, it's just derivative of a lot of, stuff that's already been done. But
yeah, I mean, I think the heaviest stuff we really were privy to was Raven, Metallica, Slayer, maybe Exciter.
The heaviest stuff kind of going on around at the time.
The heaviest stuff before, and then Jamie had what is it? Cottage Cheese from the Lips of Death.
Oh, the hardcore comp.
I still have that album.
DRI on it, and we were all like, "Oh, that's badass!" And then, as DRI came out, we got a little into that. So, it was really just kind of, we all had, very distinct things that we were into, but it all kind of blended in together.
Just naturally. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that's the one with the Watchtower does the hardcore version of Meltdown on it, like on the Cottage Cheese. It's like just more unhinged than the version that came on the album, but it's also good.
That was a great album. I still don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a Texas classic right there, comp. You got everybody on there, but that DRI was like hitting hard back then. Like, ooh, shit, it's fast. All right, gentlemen, is there anything else you would like to talk about, or anybody in the chat? Ask your questions now because we'll be wrapping up soon. So, other than that, I appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks, Sean, for saying yes and getting it together and getting some of your bandmates on too, because the more the merrier,
Yeah, if we do a round 2, we'll work harder to get the other 2 in.
Yeah, for sure, and don't forget the merch and the banners and all that stuff. Something. Yeah.
Just say thank you for the opportunity, man. It's always good to get out here and thank you for the folks that still supporting us after all this time, man. Good to see that that's still happening.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I always thought Sarinax was just like a Texas gem, where just more people need to know, and if they did hear it, they would be like, this fucking rules, this is good stuff. And it looks like that's happening. All right, here's a question. Were the Austin punks like the Offenders, NBC Big Boys, the Dicks? Oh, were you into Austin punks like the Offenders, NBC Big Boys, the Dicks, etc.?
The Offenders for sure. I know.
Oh yeah, Big Boys and Dicks. Yeah, man. I think that's part of the reason why I even picked up that Cottage Cheese album, man. Was all those guys were on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I know the Offenders. I think Mickey Offender made our first T-shirts at his shop off of the drag.
Yeah.
So yeah, we.
Oh really? Nice.
Yeah, so we were all kind of intertwined,
running them circles.
Running around like your head cut off. All right.
But back then it was really kind of. Back then it was really straight. It didn't matter what genre of music you were playing. You were just, we'd run into people at Ray Hennings or something. I think one time we ran into Stevie Ray Vaughan in there and we're just bullshitting. It was just musicians that hung out together. So it really, we all supported each other no matter what.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool, man.
Yeah. Different times, man. Good times.
Yeah. It seemed like, even though other parts of the country pick on Austin, but it seems like, especially back then, there was a real Austin music scene, right? Like it was real connected and tight. It seemed like.
Yeah, and the shows were very different. I played, and I know Jamie has too. Shows now, you're playing in a bar, you're doing something. It's there. The stuff at the Ritz and the Cameo and places like that, it was like going to the Frank Irwin Center and seeing Judas Priest in a smaller scale. It was a concert. It wasn't just a show. And I think that was really unique to the 80s. Even you go to stuff now and you're like, it's not quite exactly the same. It's a very different vibe. It's not the same production that it once was, I think.
It's not that.
Well said, man. Well said, yeah.
The passion again, right?
There we go. That's kind of the theme through the whole thing.
Yeah.
That blood on your guitar.
Yeah, that blood on your guitar. No posers allowed. Did they know Felix Griffin before his DRI days? Did you know Felix back
I didn't
back
know
in
him
the day?
before the DRI days, but after, I mean, during and after the DRI days, yeah, I mean, we've got a good connection with Felix.
Yeah.
Or
I
did.
like I never knew that Felix named Necrovore. He they had played him some music, you know, that they were working on, and I think he told him something like, "You guys sound like a bunch of ravenous Necrovores," and they were like, "Whoa, that's fucking cool." Felix, who would have thought, right? There are name now. All right, one last question: was the Texas band that then was hard to follow live? What? Yeah, okay, listen.
Yeah, it was somebody that's tough to follow. I get it.
I don't know, following, I mean, when Rotting Corpse opened up for us, that was a
Ooh, yeah,
opener.
they're a good band. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they came from Dallas. It was their first show pretty much outside of Dallas, and they showed up, and they were very different than anything they were more like what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They probably just had a little bit more experience doing it in Dallas. But we, you know, our thing was you could put on a show yourself if you had enough motivation, and we wanted to play as often as we could. So we started putting on shows ourselves at the Ritz, where we would headline just because, well, we're paying for everything. We're setting the whole thing up. And then we'd invite bands from all over the state to come play.
Yeah, and putting on good shows too. No, you know the point you made too about like the shows back then, being different. I actually totally agree with that, because like when I was, you know, young, like a 15-year-old again, like when I got your demo and all that, and I was, you know, getting into all the Texas metal, I didn't know the difference between like the popularity levels of a Watchtower or a Judas Priest. It was just all like metal to me, right? In my head, you know. Of course now I do, you know, and a couple of years later I figured it out, like, oh, but you know, when I was just like 14, 15 getting into it. So, I mean, like I wore my like SA Slayer shirt, just a Slayer shirt back then. It was the same to me as wearing my Judas Priest shirt. Like, it was just, I don't know.
I think that's the coolest thing. We felt the same.
Right? You didn't really.
We felt like, not that but we were the fans, and other people would treat us the same. Like it was, that was the big joke for the first couple of years in the band. I was still going to high school full time, and we'd play at a show. You know, we'd play Houston on a Thursday night, and I'd be back in school Friday morning, because that's where everybody was going to be like, dude, that's the guy that opened for DRI last night. It was you know, that's where that's where the attention was, and you know, everybody jokes. We did an interview for Third Coast magazine in the heyday of Syranax, which was an Austin publication, and they were talking about the Texas metal scene and what we were doing, and you know, they were like, well, what got you into music? You know, and they asked several bands the same thing, and you know, Watchtower was talking about the music and da 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 da. They got to us. What did you get in? Chicks. We got into it with these women. We didn't care. We loved the music. We figured we could play it, and you got women doing that. You know, I even joked. My son is 34 now, but he was in a little band for about 3 weeks before Rock Band came out on PlayStation, and then they abandoned everything and just started doing that. And I was like, look, real bands get you real cheeks and real attention. Rock Band doesn't get you anything, and they didn't buy into it. But yeah, well, I mean, that was what it was all about. It was all about having fun and just what we could.
Do you remember the gear you used live back then? Does anybody remember what type of amps were you using?
Jamie?
Oh yeah, man, it's a Marshall JCM.
Whoo, there you go.
Yeah, and then with the Marshall top on it, and then I was running, believe it or not, a big muff for a distortion pedal through there.
A big muff?
Yeah, one of the older school big muffs that I probably picked up out of a pawn shop somewhere.
Yeah.
With Marshall cabs too?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I just had the top. I didn't have the bottom. So it was just a half stack.
It's just as good, but
It was plenty
it's all
good.
about the visual of the stack, right? I get it, but yeah, it's just as
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
Francis,
I know Rick played out of a high watt
all right.
head, and I think he had Marshall cabinets.
Yeah.
And then I went through a couple. I had a really nice vintage Sun amp that was really good, and one of
Ooh,
those
nice.
shows, we had a slight snafu before the show, so we had some people backstage that probably shouldn't have been there, and somebody got drunk and knocked over my entire stack, and
I remember that.
shorted out the entire. I mean, the whole. It broke the whole head, so I had to move. I moved to an acoustic because I didn't have the money to replace what I had. But I had a big acoustic amp with a couple of 15s, a couple of 12s.
So yeah, so you guys had some heavy shit for a day, you know.
Mm.
My first amp was a PV combo, 212-inch with the horn, with a metal zone pedal, and then I got smart and I figured out I bought a cheap cab from my friend, and I wired, I rigged it up in the back and wired it and made a line into the cab, so I had a quarter stack. That's what I would call my quarter stack back
I
then.
think I had one of those too.
It was loud.
My
That's
musical career.
may not sound the best, but it was loud.
Yeah, man. You know, we went through all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and then we had guitars of every variety. I think, you know, I would buy and sell them as fast as I could, and you know,
Yeah, I remember that going through
you know,
gear.
Rick was the only one that was really consistent. I know, Jamie, you had the Les Paul, you had that white Strat, and I think you had another one.
Mm-hmm.
Rick just had the Les Paul and the Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still a good combo right there. Les Paul and an Iceman. Shit, you're set.
Yeah, I know he still got that Les Paul. It's a Silver Burst from
Yeah, it was a beautiful guitar.
83 or 84.
Woo, nice.
When he got it, he was
That
proud of
guitar.
that thing. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Was there one question? Yeah, that's true. The Marshalls needed that back then, at least, unless they were hot rodded. You needed that little extra drive on them to get them to crunch a little more back in the day.
Yeah. Even if you pegged the master in the gain, it still was.
The BC Rich bass.
It was a Warlock. It was a blue Warlock that I had bought at I don't know. I think I bought it at South Austin Music or something. Just walking in, like, oh, look at that. That's cheap enough. I can afford that one. It was one of the BC Rich. What was it? MJ series. I mean, I never had any really good basses. I had a bunch of cheap basses that I would rewire and put pickups in and try and make stuff. I know that one that's been that you see that's got the blood on it. It's all wood with holes drilled in it and all that stuff. That started out as like a Hondo something, and then just got modded with the Leo Kwan badass bridge and hot pickups and all that stuff. So
sometimes a good set of pickups can make them sound fantastic, even if it's a cheap guitar. You know, you put some good pickups in there, you're halfway there. The fret may not feel as good, but at least your sound can, you know, really improve. I used to do that all the time. It was Jake's cheap bass for life. Got to play something you won't be afraid of scratch and smash. Well, that's true.
Amen.
yeah,
Now, Metal Ben saying Mesa Boogies were better back then when I come to think of a crunchy sound. I never played a Mesa Boogie from the 80s, so I wouldn't know. I have a 99 dual rectifier from 99. It works just fine for me. None of that
Nice. Yeah.
simulator stuff. JD. I carry my, you know, how you feel about that? Because, you know, you're still playing guitar. Are you into the whole, you know, like coming up with the simulator on stage, or do you like still come with a regular cab in the head and, you know?
Yeah, I think I've kind of graduated up to, I got 72 deluxe reverb, Fender deluxe reverb on my amp that I'm using. You know, kind of upgraded in gear, but no simulators.
No. Yeah, I don't see the old school guys wanting to, you know, studio. Yeah, I'm fine with it, you know, whatever. But on stage, I don't know, just something cool about having a an actual fucking amp on
Yeah,
your
it's
stage.
something about enough speakers behind you to blow your hair forward. That was always,
Blow your sleeves off.
because we were talking about that earlier. About the bad concert. We just kept turning shit up. Everything, it was like Spinal Tap. It goes to 11. We need to make sure if we could put a turbo on that son of a bitch, we need to get it going. We need to make it louder.
It all just sounds like distortion after a while.
All right, man. I think we covered pretty much everything up to this point until if you guys want to come back when the reissue is coming out, I'll gladly bring you back, man.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch
For sure. All right.
And again, just thank you for the opportunity, man. It's appreciate you reaching out to us, and thankful to be here, and thank you for all the support from folks out there as well, man.
Yeah, man. Looks like
the longest I've thought about this in 40 years, I think.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it, man. I mean, it really is humbling to know that something that we did, that we put a lot of heart and soul into, but for such a short period of time, so long ago, still matters to people. And I think that it really is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with Francisco. You guys kick ass. You've been great guests, and this is like another one of my bucket list interviews for my show, because I just always loved this demo, but I just always wonder like what happened to these guys. This just seemed so there with everybody else, and sometimes ahead of everybody else, that it was like what happened. I needed to know just for my personal self, and I'm just happy to hear too that it's getting reissued and more eyes will be on it, and Head Split's a really good, I think, label to help do that. It'll do that for sure.
Right.
Jake says landmark interview for Austin Metal. Look at that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Solis commented on Facebook and said, "These, what did he say? I can't remember exactly. Something like these guys need to be known more, or like these guys need more exposure." And that was Mike from not Sarinax, Militia.
Nice.
So that was very cool of him to say. So, fuck yeah.
Yep.
All right, man.
With Mike and Felix and Jason and all those folks on Facebook. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Jason was the one that got me in contact with you. So
yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna play a track on the way out. What have we not played? Let's see here. Pedophile or Battalion of Death? I'll let you guys make it. Battalion? Battalion? All right, man. Thanks, man.
Let's go out with that. Thank you, guys.
Whoop, not that. Take the wrong one. Here we go.
Falling to the structure, destroying all mankind. Take us to the pit for now, you can throw your gun. Still it's life is attacked, to destroy your peace. Still it's rigid us, on the counter speed. No escape the dying, bring me back to life. Falling to the rotten bomb, and slay your death. I can't feel take over!